I have not decluttered any of the kids' stuff since pretty much I had my first child 3 years ago, and everything they have fits in this closet. All the gear, not all the clothes I should say, they have a drawer for that, all the toys, all the books, and it shows. You can see on this half, things are just overflowing, and I've known for the past month that I wanted to do this, so I've kind of just let it go, and it's a little worse than it usually is, but it's still just way too jam-packed in there. Oh yeah, all the diapers, all the wipes, just everything baby and toddler go in here, spare car seat, accessories, you name it, it's all in here. And since my youngest has turned 1, I really wanted to go through this and get rid of pretty much all the baby stuff because I'm fairly certain we're done having kids. And if we do have another child, it wouldn't be for quite a while. So I don't want to hold on to stuff for 5 years in case we have a third child. If you didn't know, I have 2 kids. They share this room. So I have to be intentional of what I bring into the house. Otherwise, this space just won't work. Like, I love minimalism, but it is also forced on me with the kids sharing this space. This bag is full of shoes that I have for Rook to grow into, and I want to move those out to the living room. Oh, that's the other thing. Clothing isn't so much in this closet. I do have the clothes for the kids to grow into under the couch in storage bins, so I want to move those shoes to there. And I really desperately need to go through these hanging clothes. We don't have a lot of hanging stuff in here, but it still is more than I want to have. Big toys are the bane of my existence. I wish we didn't have any just because they're so hard to store, but also I know obviously the kids love them, so I'm gonna keep what we have. I just need a better system. This is a basket of who knows what. I was very excited to go through that and figure out what is in there because I never go in it. That backpack is a shoulder carrier that we use often for hikes and such, so that'll be staying for sure. This bin is all of Josh's childhood toys, so some stuffies he wants to hold on to, but also most of it is Lego, so we're keeping that around until the kids are at the age to use that, of course. The box is accessories for our bucket seat, which we're still using for Finn, but he is going to be growing out of that soon, so I wanted to get all the car seat stuff out of here because it takes up so much space. You can also see we have the bassinet attachment for our stroller right there, and the, I don't know what you could call this type of car seat, the next size up of car seat that Finn is going to use once he's not in the bucket seat anymore. So that is that on that side. If you're wondering what the plywood is, this is kind of a reno spot of the house. We had to build this thing up. So we are going to be covering it and, I don't know, making it look nicer, but for now it's just bare plywood. And just from that one half of the closet, this is what we're dealing with. It is a lot of stuff. This is more of the toy side, so the bins down below are 2 bins deep. That's where I have a pretty good organizational system of different types of small piece toys, and then above that is just a, you know, jumbled mess of larger toys. Okay, so here we are, and I still haven't gone through the bins or done any of the books above, and so I'm gonna talk to you for a second. Okay, so my plan was to take everything out, sort it, get rid of stuff, put everything back. I don't think that's realistic. There's just too much stuff. I already don't know if I'm gonna be able to function in here trying to sort through it. Man, like, there is a lot of stuff that you can fit in one closet, dude. So I think I'm gonna start with maybe the big gear stuff, put what I can back in to give me a bit of space and get the stuff I don't need out. So I've kind of organized by large toys. I have my stuffy bin, some clothes, gear, toys. But I still have to go through all the bins and the books. So I'm gonna have to do little pieces at a time, I guess. Okay, let's do the gear. So this is my pile of baby gear that I really want to cut down because, like I said, we don't need most of this stuff, and some of it I just want to store somewhere else because I don't need it in the closet that we're using every day. We do have a garage. It's just full of a lot of stuff already because we share it with the other couple we own the house with. So I don't want to put too much stuff in there and make it more full than it already is, but I will be throwing a couple things in there that I'll get to. I do want to keep some of these baby blankets, even though we don't need them anymore. Just, I like to keep a couple things for nostalgia, of course. This is a little fox Halloween costume that I made for Rook a couple years ago. Keeping that for Finn this year. Another baby blanket. Finn's chicken costume from last Halloween I can get rid of. Ooh, the Jolly Jumper. We haven't used that in this house because we just don't have a central doorway that makes sense for it, so that I can get rid of. And we have an empty basket. Hallelujah. The side rails for Rook's bed I can get rid of. I got this bed for $30 off Marketplace, so once we're done with it, I'm just gonna post it for free. I'm not too worried about keeping accessories, especially because the bed is kind of falling apart already. That box of bucket seat accessories, I think I'm gonna see if my mom will take it in case my siblings want to use the bucket seat when they decide to have kids. This is a wall shelf from IKEA. I'm not gonna hang it yet because at this age the kids will just throw books around, but I do want to use it in this room when they're a little bit older. Okay, still trying to focus on the big gear. This is is it a convertible car seat? Is that what that's called? I'm gonna put that in the garage right now just because we're going to be using it in a few months anyways. I'll just put it in the garage so we won't have to store it long, and I'm justifying that. All these toys I just wanted to consolidate in the corner so I can make room for all the other stuff I still need to put on the ground. I went through the stuffies and didn't get rid of much just because you never know what stuffy your kid is gonna get attached to. I do rotate them out often, and they do for the most part still get played with. As long as I'm limiting it to the one basket, I feel good about it. Some of these jackets are just not the right size for the kid's age, so I can put those away in storage. I've been looking for the Muddy Buddy. This is one of the reasons why I knew I needed to do the closet, because I knew we had it but didn't know where it was, and Finn is at the age where he's ready for this. I have so many sleep sacks. A lot of them never got used with either of the kids, so I'm excited to get rid of those. We got snowsuits, more jackets, more sleep sacks, and I think I cut those hanging clothes in half, which is really nice. So I just threw those on the hanger to be moved around as needed. And then I have a little Love Every tunnel and a play tent that I'm shoving in there because those get a lot of use. And the shoulder carrier, of course, went back in. Now it's time to tackle these bins. So this one I just pulled out is the craft bin, which gets a lot of use, especially at this age for Rook at the age of 3. So I don't really need to get rid of anything from here, more just making things fit a little better. This bin is the like play pretend bin. Again, that one's pretty narrowed down. I'm happy with that. Don't need many changes. This one is the music bin, which we only have a few music items anyway, so I decided to change this category. I'm going to empty that bin in a second. And then this other one, you can see all the train tracks, is currently like a vehicles bin, which doesn't work great because it's mostly trains plus some cars. So I wanted to separate those into a cars bin and a train set bin, which will be really nice when I'm bringing out the train set. I can just dump the one bin out. And then this bin I labeled as feeding, which I don't need so much. Again, now that Finn is just getting older, he's not using bottles. I pump a bit, but I can just give it to him in a cup. So I, again, sacrificed that bin and gave it a new job, which ended up being just the miscellaneous stuff, all the manuals, all the little, just a bunch of stuff. Honestly, I didn't even look through this bin. I just dumped it all in because I needed to prioritize my time, and I can go through that later. And then this one is, I think, 6 to 12 months. So I went through that. I am going to be getting rid of some of the Love Every stuff that we've grown out of. Probably try and sell some online. We'll see how that goes. And this one is 0 to 6 months. So I could get rid of a lot of that. Some of it the kids can definitely still play with. So I'm just trying to sort through it. And most of this will go to my mom. I haven't told her this yet, but again, to hold on to until my siblings have kids. This next one is all stacking toys, which I pretty much left alone because Finn's getting to the age where he's gonna really love stacking stuff. Next up is a bin I labeled Finn. So this is like gifts that he's been given that he wasn't old enough to play with yet. and I figured that most of it can either be donated or moved into other bins. Like all his stuffies can just go in the stuffy bin now. So that one got nicely emptied. This is the miscellaneous bin, which as you can expect can get out of control pretty quickly. There's a lot of just crappy garbage toys in here that I was happy to get rid of. Some of it still very fun, useful stuff, but I did make a lot of progress getting rid of most of this. And then lastly, I have a puzzles bin. All the puzzle pieces go in here and then the puzzle boards go up on top. So glad to have that done. I still need to relabel all the shelves, but again, that's a problem for another day. Now it's time to tackle all the large toys, which is really intimidating. It's like, how did we get so many large toys? And I really like most of them. They get a lot of use, they get a lot of play. It's just, you know, small storage issues. So I just started moving everything to one side that I knew for sure I was keeping, which was most of it, and the rest, again, putting in a pile for donate or selling. And this was me getting overwhelmed with the amount of toys. Alright, so now's the time for me to try and figure out how to successfully put all this stuff back in here and be functional, because I don't need it to be a perfect, beautiful system. I just want to be able to remove items without 10 other items falling down with it. I do have this plate organizer I really like for putting my puzzles on. It just helps keep the puzzle trays accessible. And then yeah, I'm just going at it. Anything that's stacked, I made sure that the item on the bottom is used less, but I still didn't want things stacked so much that, again, it'll be too much work to remove a lower item. Moving on to the other side, that left side of the shelf is mostly for just diapers and wipes. I threw that bin of Lego pieces in the back corner because obviously we're not using that right now. It can be tucked away. I also realized that all those clothes can be shoved into the corner as well and not be right in your direct eyesight now that I don't have that car seat in there. So that was really nice. Makes it feel way more open in there and I can see through to the other side now. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out how to throw all this stuff in here with, again, still being slightly functional. It's a lot of big toys and a small space. Moving up top, I do have another shelf up there that I put up before I had Finn to store all of our books, which has been a lifesaver. I did try and get rid of some, but books are hard to get rid of. Like, a lot of them are really nice. So I only got rid of a few of like pretty badly damaged ones. I also threw some diapers on the bottom here because again, I just have too many right now. And yeah, I'm just putting the last few items in here, making it work. I have the right basket with those stuffies, of course, and the left basket I took those big toys out of and am putting gear items that make sense in there. And I didn't want to pile too much on top of it, so I can actually use the stuff in that basket now and not have it just be an abyss of who knows what. Putting those toys kind of around and behind places that I can still reach them, but hopefully aren't too much in the way. I did have to put that stroller on top. I know it's a collapsible stroller, but we lost one of the screws, so Josh put some permanent screws in it, so it's not collapsible anymore and it's just gonna sit there. And this is everything I'm getting rid of, which I feel really good about. This is what the closet is looking like now. It's definitely not, again, like a perfect organized system, but I can access everything and see everything, and I feel like I'm not gonna create an avalanche if I touch anything. On the other side, we got our diapers and wipes and books and big toys and gear and stuffies, and it feels way more open. Now I'm just going through and sorting what's going to my mom, what's going in the garbage, what's getting donated, and what's getting sold. This is the part of the job I always forget I have to do, and I have no motivation at this point, but it is what it is. Have to get through it. I'm already feeling so much better about this space, and as sad as it is to get rid of some of the baby stuff, it is really exciting knowing we're moving on to having 2 toddlers and them being in the same stage and playing together and not needing to worry about all the baby things. I'm quite excited about it, and just knowing in the coming year that this room is going to change even more. Once Finn is out of the crib, we're going to get the boys bunk beds, and I just love that this space is ever evolving for them. I intentionally made this room simple so that it can grow with them and change without having too much clutter and excess. That's also why I got a really cheap bed for Rook, because I knew we were only going to be having it for a year anyways. And And yeah, I just love this room for them and I love what it provides. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this declutter and hopefully it gave you some inspiration to get rid of some of your own kids' stuff. Thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.